you shouldn't do that, okay? Because one day you've been wanting to notice, and now you're the girl who cried haircut.
Because they're here, working day in, day out. AT&T is here, providing support with advanced services for first responders and connecting temporary hospitals, mobile testing sites, and emergency management centers. Because until their job is done, it is essential that we all have their backs. It's what we've always done. It's what we'll always do.
While you do your part to beat coronavirus, America's biopharmaceutical companies are working around the clock to do ours, testing existing medicines, developing new treatments and vaccines, and collaborating with the FDA, NIH, and CDC. We're working with doctors and hospitals on over 235 clinical trials and ramping up production capabilities to ensure these medicines are available. Because science is how we get back to normal. The calming scent of lavender by Downy Infusions Calm. Laundry isn't done until it's done with Downy.
State Farm is announcing the Good Neighbor Relief Program.
We're returning $2 million to our auto policyholders through May 31st.
Because now, more than ever, being a good neighbor means ever. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Sometimes the challenges of today's world make it tough to take care of yourself. That's why you can rely on Nature's Bounty to give you the support you need to stay motivated, keep active, and sleep well. Add a little more help.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the News Unit. I'm waiting on the peeps. This is newsunit.com broadcasting an urgent information bulletin right here on the YouTube video network. The information presented here, not necessarily that of myself or anyone that participates. This is for educational and entertainment purposes only. I can neither confirm nor deny the accuracy of any of this, but I am breaking in here with another urgent information bulletin. I did not intend to do this. It is Tuesday, June the 5th, 2018. The current time is 14 hours and 1 minute Coordinated Universal Time. This is right on the hour here. It's just after 9 o'clock Central Time, USA. And wherever you are, you can do the math. 14 hours and 1 minute Coordinated Universal Time. Let me get to this here on the screen capture. This is important. I put this up on the News Unit at www.thenewsunit.com. It's so important. And it is important. You might think it's kind of curious. I think it's important. So we'll take a look at it here in just a moment. I want to get some more peeps in here so we can give you the information in a little bit greater detail. This is incredibly important. It has to do with cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, Litecoin, and more. So let's run through the prices right now. We see the crashes continuing here, and Bitcoin down to 7,382 on Coinbase GDAX. Bitcoin Cash is coming up on 1,000, 1,059. That'll breach that to the bottom. Ethereum 584, Litecoin is 116. We're still waiting for Litecoin to break 100 to the downside. That's really going to be significant. 65 cents and change on Ripple, and 47 Satoshis on Doge. Here's some other charts to look at. The Trump rally is getting going again slowly here on the S&P 500 and all the major indices, moving slowly into positive territory over the last few days and continuing to grow higher. We're going to watch this thing get up to all-time highs again and start breaking out to the upside, no doubt. People are talking about 30 to 40,000 Dow this year, no doubt. I think you're going to have it because all these computer-controlled and driven markets are just subject to whatever they want it to do. And it's time to make America great again, make America godly again, all those things. So it's all working together to create this new global community, this new conservative, global, evangelical, Judeo-Christian Trump movement. All right, what I'm breaking in here for right now, ladies and gentlemen, this is important. It has to do with Bitcoin, Litecoin, the blockchain. I haven't even listened to all of it yet, just in part. And as you're joining me here, I'm hoping we got some more people here. Yeah, we're going to get some more here. Present to everyone. We have a report that's out, and I was watching this. Bitcoin Ben, on his recent upload today from Barbados. Here's a guy that comes off as being just a truck driver from St. Louis. He's down in Barbados, spanking his wife's ass. He's banging some ass over there in Barbados, he claims. That's what he said. Well, I'm just repeating what he said. So Bitcoin Man Ben has declared now that he's an anonymous. He's right there with Julian Assange. He's right there with WikiLeaks. This guy is in the top echelon of the Truthers and Patriots, just like Jason at Fort Bixweir, Cliff High, SGT Report, all the rest of them. These are the kingpins, guys. That's why we got to pay attention to them. Look, they throw us a nugget or two once in a while. We missed out on it. We watched everybody get rich on Veritasium like Jason at 4 and all the rest of the Litecoin they sold. Cheer up, Charlie the Cat sold in December, on December 20th. That's who sold the Litecoin, Charlie the Cat. It wasn't Charlie Lee. You didn't know that, did you? I showed people that the other day. Cheer up, Charlie. You didn't have to sell all the Litecoin. Cheer up, Charlie. That wasn't the deal. That had nothing to do with Charlie Lee. That had nothing to do with Charlie Lee. You want me to prove it to you? I guess I got to prove it to the peeps. And we'll get on this Bitcoin Ben news, which is huge. This is huge news, ladies and gentlemen. If you're just tuning in, you're tuning into some huge news. Don't go away. I'm going to show you that in a moment. This is huge news. And I mean huge news. Okay? This is so huge. I'm going to put it up on Twitter. I just need to disseminate this immediately. This needs to be broadcast on all frequencies. Please. Hello. Stand by. We have a phone call coming in. We have a phone call coming into the News Unit Command Center. And we will be back with you in just a moment. In the meantime, I'll put up a chart for you to see Bitcoin, and we'll be right with you. We will return here in just a moment. Okay, I just got some trimming tree jobs here in the yard to do today. So I just got my call from Mom upstairs since I'm down here in the basement. She just called here and told me I got to trim some tree branches here. So we'll get on that a little bit later today. That's what happens when you live in your mommy's basement and you're a little soy boy like me. Yeah. All right, folks, here's your Bitcoin price, 7,381.82. It does look like we're in capitulation and a crash. That's my attitude about it. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later today, later tonight. I don't intend to be in here too long, but I wanted to break back in here with a very urgent and informative information bulletin. This is important. We left off the last transmission, and now we have something very, very important for you to take a look at, and I will show you that right here. And it has to do with Bitcoin Ben on thenewsunit.com, www.thenewsunit.com. Let's pull up a screen here on this and go over to thenewsunit.com. Take a look at this. Bitcoin Ben reveals he's a member of Anonymous. We didn't know this. Now, Bitcoin Ben started his YouTube channel in August last year. We took a look at that the other day. And this guy's got a lot of subscribers. He's got thousands of subscribers. He gets thousands of views. Listen, I'm just a little speck of dust on YouTube compared to all these channels, these Truthers and Patriots. But Bitcoin Man Ben, we didn't realize you were that important. He's in Anonymous. So there's Anonymous. There's the face of Anonymous. If you want to know what the face of Anonymous looks like, well, there's a couple faces of Anonymous. Here's another face of Anonymous. And I have to sneeze. So I just muted my mic so I wouldn't sneeze in your face there, guys. Thank you very much. And Bitcoin Ben is an Anonymous. And this man, Bitcoin Ben, is revealing now that he's an Anonymous. I repeat, broadcast all frequencies, ladies and gentlemen. Bitcoin Ben is an Anonymous. Broadcast it on YouTube frequencies, on Twitter frequencies, Facebook, Farsbook, whatever you want to call it. Broadcast it on Instagram. Broadcast it on, I don't know, anything else you could possibly think of. Just broadcast it. Broadcast it on channel 19, channel 9 on the CB, upper sideband, lower sideband, all 40 channels. Do whatever you want. Turn on your linear amplifier if you're a truck driver. Broadcast that Bitcoin Ben is in Anonymous. And if you don't know who Bitcoin Ben is, I'm going to get a CB and a dual trucker and twin antennas, or maybe a good K40. I don't know what the good one is now. Some kind of Hustler vertical. I don't know. Maybe I'll get a ham radio one and just tune it to 11 meters. Or a big coil so I can run 1,000 watts in there or something like that. But if you're a truck driver, get on the CB, tell everybody, not too many people use CBs anymore, get on your Cobra 140 GTL, just sideband, or whatever it is, your Midland, your Uniden. Get on there and tell everybody that Bitcoin Ben is in Anonymous. And he just declared that. We didn't know how important this guy was until now. See, we're trying to find out truth in the news. All the time you're losing the command center. And that takes time. But I had to break in here and tell you guys this because
industrials, they're down close to 30%. Some of these other stocks are down 15 to 50%. So let me see which ones I can start nibbling on now. And if we get, this pullback for whatever reasons, unintended consequences, earnings are much more dire, they're not going to be good. I mean, if Coke can't tell you what they're going to project, just think about other companies that are in industrial sector, transportation sector. It's going to be pretty ugly. It's a sustaining duration that we're looking for. And if you're going to be an investor and you're going to look out and you have hope, and we do, but we're going to come back. When we come back, we'll come back.
How's your husband and his woman?
And Hickok was standing inside, and he kind of stepped into view.
I don't believe the lady invited you in, McCandless.
That's none of your business, Hickok.
McCandless, you start something, there'll be one less some bitch at the end.
McCandless asked for a drink of water, possibly to diffuse the situation. And when the woman went to get it, Hickok stepped further back into the room.
Apparently, McCandless makes some move. Did he go for a gun? Did he just wave his hand? He did something that caused Hickok to feel menaced.
Very sad, didn't
Hey, okay. Don't shoot.
And Hickok shot him through the heart.
McCandless' 12-year-old son would later claim his father wasn't even carrying a weapon. But I maintain that he came armed and had every intention of spilling my blood. The McCandless affair was the first chapter in The Legend of Wild Bill. And true to the facts or not, it began my reputation as a gunman. And that story...
Sorry, miss, no, are you inebriated?
What? No, preposterous. Are you inebriated? That was bad timing.
This is a Buddywood first. An exclusive interview with potential city councilwoman Leslie Knope, who appears to be drunk right now on camera.
I am not drunk. Yes, when you have a jumbo margarita and some flaming tequila shots, you can't...
Truby didn't get those words by accident. It appears the randomized word list was purposefully manipulated by you. You tampered with this. And I, in good conscience, cannot allow such an abuse of your position to go unnoticed.
And the guy, we are the Breakfast Club, and we got a special guest on the line right now. Dr. Fauci, welcome.
Good to be with you guys.
How you feeling, man? I was gonna ask you how you quarantining, but y'all don't never quarantine. Y'all be on that stage, not social distancing, still shaking hands. What's up with that?
Well, I ain't shaking hands, guys, that's for sure. But I'm trying to get the message across, so I got to be out there. Sometimes you got to take some risks, and that's what I do.
What precautions do y'all take at the press conferences? Do y'all all be on stage together, like?
Yeah, we try to stay 6 feet apart. Sometimes that's tough to do, but most of the time we do. In fact, if you look in the audience, we used to have the press that was crowded like crazy together, and now you notice there's multiple seats apart. Most of them are just coming in by virtually by video.
Now, what are you guys doing? What do you think about the country reopening? People say, hey, it's time, there's phases, but do you honestly think we are ready to start opening parts of the country?
You know, I think certain parts of the country are ready to take the first steps. As I've said, and it's true, that you can't look at it like turning a light switch on and off. You know, we're shut down and now we're going to open. The program that we spoke about yesterday at the press conference is a really very gradual, careful, step-by-step, where you have to fulfill certain criteria before you go to phase 1. And then you stay at phase 1 for a while, letting down some of the mitigation, separation stuff that we've been doing so well, and I think it's really worked. If you do that and everything starts coming down, still no blips coming back, then you go to the next phase. So it was built to be really, really careful about the safety and health of the American public. That's the first thing. So it's gradual. It's not on and off. The other thing that's important, it really depends upon where you are. I was just on the phone 10 minutes ago, literally 10 minutes ago, with Governor Cuomo from New York, who really, New York has suffered terribly through no fault of their own. They are certainly not ready to do anything dramatic in pulling back. Whereas if you go to a place like Wyoming, or a place like New Mexico, where there are very, very few, they could already start tiptoeing into trying getting back to normality. So it isn't unidimensional. It's not like the United States is one homogeneous thing. It's going to be very different from region to region.
Now, Dr. Fauci, now, aren't you nervous that people from these other markets and other places, like New York, like Miami, like Detroit, might travel, or packages delivered, or people loading and delivering things? Aren't you nervous that those people will go to those markets and start affecting those people, kind of like what happened with the U.S.?
Yeah. So first of all, that's a good question, and that's the reason why when we talk about travel, we say only really essential travel that's necessary for a particular area to fulfill their functions as a society. And also, if you look carefully at the phase 1, and even the gateway, as we call it, it still has a lot of restrictions, so that when people come in, they try to stay 6 feet apart, no more than a crowd of 10, washing hands carefully, wearing masks. It doesn't have to be an N95 or surgical mask, but just a cloth covering. So even though there are people coming in, they've got to make sure, and that's really, if you look at those guidelines carefully, it isn't, okay, guys, everything is open, let's do it. There's still a lot of restrictions, even in the areas where they have already taken those first steps towards opening.
I wanted to ask about some of the effects after you had coronavirus, whether you got not diagnosed with it or you self-quarantined because you feel like you had the symptoms. And I've heard that some people are going to have permanent issues perhaps with their lungs or other permanent issues. Has that been something that you've been seeing, where even after all the symptoms are gone, they still have some permanent lung issues and things like that?
Okay, so it really, that's a great question. But there are a couple of different types of
Wait, what? I think I got hijacked.
What we call syndromes
Yeah, what the heck?
with
How do I make a
coronavirus. No, majority
double click on thing?
I would say, you know,
Done. Create one stop.
exact number, but somewhere around
Fucking start
25 to
button.
50% of people
Oh, there we
who
go.
actually get infected and have zero symptoms.
Okay, there we go.
They don't even know they're infected unless they happen to get
Right,
tested.
do you see that?
There doesn't appear to be
you read
any
it?
issues
Yeah.
with them.
I do.
Oh, beautiful.
Others,
Alright, I'm gonna make one too. Hold up.
and the majority of them do very well.
There we go.
They get fever,
Hey!
they get chills, they
Yeah,
get
I
aches,
can't
they
draw
feel
for
like
some
a
reason.
really bad
What the
virus
hell?
syndrome. They don't
Yeah, this
really
shit's
need
weird.
any
Yo,
type
welcome
of
back, neurons. How are you?
intervention of any
I'm
note.
doing well. How
When
about
those
you?
people get better,
I just
How is
they
your
usually
flight?
feel not great for a few weeks after. It's almost like a post-viral weakness and fatigue. They generally get over that and do well. We don't think there's going to be any permanent damage. About 15% of the people who really get in trouble, most of them are either the elderly or those who have underlying conditions, heart disease, hyper.
Yeah. Now we've got a supercharged.
It won't let me.
Victor Hercules, and it is big, it is bold, it is beautiful.
Just drag your layer to the top.
You get that Bolt Swiss, the Swiss Sport, sorry, and then you get a bracelet for $289 and $81. That's 75% off. Launching this is 3 options to choose from. We had A.L. Lalo on last hour, and he said that the Silvertone Blue was his favorite. I think that one's already starting to get pretty. This is the lowest price Hercules Reserve that we've ever offered. 681-397 is how you order. I'm going to show you your 3 options to get home. This is going to be your Silvertone Black, starting off with that black mother pearl. You can see flashes of green and magenta. Next is going to be the Silvertone Blue. This was A.L.'s pick with that beautiful blue mother of pearl. Last but not least is the Silvertone Mother of Pearl Flame Fusion. Oh, and heads up, that Silvertone is the favorite out of the gates. You get this home on your wrist for an interesting value of
Oh no, this shit's killing my PC.
We launched this last hour, Ryan, and tell us a little bit more. If someone's new to Invicta, or maybe just joining us for the first time, about the Hercules Reserve and kind of the inspiration for this watch.
So the Hercules Reserve is just a complete new design that we took about 2 years to be able to absolutely perfect in terms of design work, engineering, to get to this true marvel.
I don't even know how to make a layer, bro.
Well, Doctor, what do you think about Kyle's claim? I told him that I did not believe that he had any clinical studies. I did not believe that CBD had been demonstrated as a miracle cure for coronavirus. Certainly not for COVID-19, and certainly not a miracle cure, or even having any demonstration to affect it at all.
This is so
and
fucking
he has these ads up that it would crush the coronavirus or COVID-19. I'm telling him I don't believe he has any basis for saying that whatsoever. Am I wrong? Is he right? What do you think about his claim that this is a miracle cure?
We know, Dr. Phil, you're not wrong. And look, I can see that he is very passionate about CBD, and I think that's actually great. He wants to help people. But the reality is that at this point in time, while there may be evidence for a drug to work in one disease state, it does not mean that translates into another disease state, in particular an infection. So at this point in time, we simply don't have the data to say, or safe trials to suggest, that there is an actual benefit in a patient with this infection or the severe immune response that we see associated with the infection.
Well, do you believe that CBD is not a cure-all, of course, and isn't it true that, in fact, in some infections, CBD has a biological plausibility for harm?
So yes, there are multiple in vitro studies with CBD. Some of those in vitro studies can suggest that it can, in fact, prevent what we call persistence of viral infection. But in fact, if you look at other viral infections, again, in vitro means that we're talking about in a petri dish or in a test tube, which does not necessarily translate into humans. But in fact, there is evidence that in some cases, CBD can increase the risk of developing an infection in the setting of exposure to a virus. I think that is a good example of why these sorts of things need to be studied in well-controlled trials to make sure that we're not giving a bad recommendation to a desperate patient or even a desperate clinical provider who wants to take care of their patient.
Kyle, what do you say to Dr. Nagy?
I would just question, what are these other medications designed to do? I never understood why I was being given the medications I've ever been given, and now I understand why those didn't work for me. I understand that the endogenous cannabinoid system is the #1 regulatory system in the human body, and so why would not CBD allow for it to improve the immune system's function as these human functions that are in everybody exist?
So I'm happy to respond to that. So I think the issue is CBD is a molecule. It's a chemical, like many chemicals. And while there may be effects with the immune system, there can also be off effects that can also have detrimental effects somewhere else in the body. And I think when it comes to a viral infection, we simply don't know what role that could play. And it just that is why study is so important, to ensure that we understand the balance of risk and benefit, and to do that in the right patient population so that we can help guide them through their disease course.
Well, Dr. Nagy, you also heard Yvonne talking about keeping her apartment at 80 degrees and doing some of the other things that she was doing other than eating the fruits. Is there any reason for her to keep her apartment at 80 degrees? Does that help? And should she be trying some of these things that she's finding on the internet, such as the toothpaste, the mouthwash, that sort of thing?
No, and I think that's where Yvonne and other patients who are diagnosed, and then so many of those patients who are diagnosed are recommended to go home, stay home, don't go out and about because you don't want to expose other people. In Yvonne's case, she was actually temporarily hospitalized because she needed oxygen, and now she's better and working this out at home. And I think it's mostly reassurance that her body is actually equipped to handle this. You actually heard earlier, she has a very complex immune system that can do this on its own. And what she doesn't want to do is get in its way by, again, increasing the heat, which affects her ability to thermoregulate all by herself. And I think it's exactly as you summarized earlier in the show. She wants to stay home and self-isolate. She wants to get rest. She wants to make sure she's eating and drinking. As we've heard from many patients, they lose their appetite, they can't taste, they can't smell. We want to encourage that they're taking in appropriate food and drink, primarily water, so that she can help her body do exactly what it was meant to do, which is to clear this virus out.
Well, hopefully we'll make some progress on that. We'll hear from Yvonne in a minute. So next, Dr. Nagy says she is involved in a nationwide study that could potentially save the lives of doctors and nurses on the front lines fighting COVID-19. But it's a study. We don't know yet. We'll continue the conversation with her after the break.
Feel the clarity of non-drowsy Claritin and 24-hour relief from symptoms caused by over 200 indoor and outdoor allergens, like those from Buddy. For 1 week only, save up to $44 in select Claritin products. Check this Sunday's newspaper for details. Cats will do anything for the irresistible taste of Temptation's treats.
Went over there and doing some civil affairs. You know, in the military, usually the officers and enlisted don't mix together. But Jeff's, you know, even for a former officer, he's really down to earth. You know, he just loves veterans. He loves working.
Jeff, my fellow military person. Jeff has endeared himself to me because of the level of respect and courtesy. A lot of my circumstances have kind of involved me not really having a level of trust with outside men that I've made an acquaintance of. But he was always fair. He was always let me run the show. If I wanted to engage, I could. If not, he was always pleasant, always open.
Participants that have been involved in our program a lot of times come in very, very anxious, typical characteristics of perhaps post-traumatic stress or just trying to integrate back into the civilian life. Anxiety, introverted, they oftentimes isolate.
It's difficult, the readjustment to civilian life. Food costs a lot more than when I went in, you know, active duty and stuff that you don't really notice, you know, while you're gone, and it's a whole different environment because, you know, the Army is kind of its own little world. A lot of times, everything you need is on the base. And when she was pregnant, I mean, God, you know, that was before I was in school or with Equest or anything, and it just seemed really like isolated and stuff.
It's tough for anybody in the service to transition from active duty service into civilian life. It is 10 times harder being a Marine and having Marine Corps qualities in place when you're working with civilians. It's just almost unbearable.
For me, it was as much of an identity thing as anything else. You know, I spent 20 years flying fighters, and so that became a very core piece of who I saw myself as. You know, I came back and I was mad, you know, all the time. And I just, the people in my life that I've known before, it just felt like, you know, they had gone on as if nothing would, had changed at all. And for me, you know, it seemed like nothing would ever be the same.
on the Tiffany paper from $2,650. Fuck yeah. Thanks for converting my currency still. I think he's ready to. No. You don't hold all your racks. Why don't you get a fridge? Yeah. My paper clips. Wait, what? Yeah, that's right. That I doubt it. Golden paper clip, $2,600. Oh my god! Girl, who the fuck it was? I think it was like some stuff on that real. Tiffany.com.au. 18 karat gold paper clip. Available exclusively on Tiffany.com at the New York flagship store. Bitch, what the fuck is this? They've got a coffee can. That's down to $750. Wow, it's more fun. Yeah. They got a measuring tape, $2 grand. What the fuck is this? It's not bad. Well, this was Marvel S part. It's got like 2.5K in bulk. That's when they rubber band. It's like 400 levels of fire. What? They take that for 17. I can't believe it's been up like but that's what the Trump like. That's pretty much. That's what the Trump like. That's all it is. That's what the Trump like. I don't know. Maybe they just do it in a dash. What's it called? Like ZAPPO? Wait. Well, we had that, but for something else. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, but you fucking idiots call everything Woolworths. Still at the logo. Dude, that technique can just send us down a rabbit hole because I just found some other shit on YouTube. Oh, what the fuck is that? Is that exchange 17,000 for the 1,500? 17,000. They have a fucking 4,500 I never really online account before or done shit like that. I didn't want to go online that. I have friends that were buying it. Like, can you show me the paper clip? Yeah, like, I didn't stand for it. Oh, big spender, are we? Wait, sir? Is that a weed grinder? Where'd it go? Oh no, just called a round box. What the fuck? Imagine having this kind of money. You don't serve me punch with this later, I don't fucking want it. No, you don't know what to do. Fuck up. Let's say like I don't want to say this, but I don't think it's right. I have to find some words. $700. And that's only when it does something. So, take the bill. What a flexible business plan. That's like $700 discount. Probably. Yeah, your income is below 50 million. You won't be able to hear the home company. Oh, a pet leash. A dog leash. $600. It doesn't even have silver on it.
It's gone.
No silver, no gold. But if I saw a dog with a prescription collar, I'd fucking kill it. But the hair's that good. That's fucking thing to do, please. Oh, they've got a section on our website, games and novels. Yeah, $100. Fuck. They got one for kids too.
I'm crazy, son. I'm crazy out here. I'm crazy. I'm so crazy. Where are you guys coming from? Oh my God. Oh no. You see that? I'm getting like a zit on my cheek every now and again. Otherwise, I'm pretty as hell. You know what I'm saying? I'm cute. I'm cute. Raw Bean trying to fuck me. You know what I'm saying? Raw Bean on my dick. She jocking the fuck out of me. You know what I'm saying? I got my lunch lady gear on. We hype as hell out here. We hype as hell out here. You know what I'm saying? I pop all these bubbles with my teeth. All these bubbles with my teeth. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, right? Y'all ain't trying to get with me. Y'all ain't trying to play with me. Get wild. You niggas ain't trying to come up here and suck a nigga's dick. The fuck, nigga? The fuck? Let me get a selfie stick. You can start chopping niggas up. Yeah, I'm a lunch lady. I'm the properest lunch lady ever. They call me Mrs. Cooks a lot. Yeah. I'm like Adam Sandler. Yo, Adam Sandler. I'm Lil B. Hey. I ain't no little nigga.
I'm going under most popular gifts. What do we think? Diamond. get like a sponsor for this thing?
Hey guys, please sponsor.
I'm no longer affiliated with GameStop, but okay, so imagine like GameStop now though, but it's like crushed diamonds and stuff. That's the only thing I'm gonna say. Sorry, but that's I only drink fun.
Oh, I think I thought.
Mixed with the blood of an American.
You figure out how to do the price thing?
No.
I think I just found it. 5,000 and over, I'm gonna hit that.
Everything's 5,000 and over. Fake. They have a fake category. Unless they've got like a $7 million pacifier. I've got a lot of shit. I hope anyone who's actually like bought one of these things guys.
I agree. They're already done inside.
Like float. It's just fucking hard. Here I am, I just bought a fucking vacuum for $15. Hell no, man, I gotta get down on my feet.
Y'all already sent me the 9K bubble.
I gotta feed the dust and the crumbs into the mouth of the vacuum for it to pick up.
God damn.
Oh, yeah. Which flavor? Algae. Do you have algae in America? Like Dollar Tree.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Except slightly better.
The Dollar Tree is like that Rockstar. That's the only energy drink that they have.
I have a home brand energy drink. Algae. It's actually really good.
Oh, it's like
although it must be really good.
Yes.
Every energy drink it always says you no more than 2 cans per day.
Oh yeah, the same with beer.
But this one says you no more than 1 can per day.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's fucking deadly.
Ooh. We're gonna go outside. You guys want to go outside with me? You guys want to go find a mushroom?
My chest would just hurt like after the third one. Yo, I've been there recently. I used to drink only the Monster Max. Yeah. Oh, they're so good, but.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Monster. Especially not white Monster.
Ooh.
I don't like that.
Ooh. Ooh.
All the games on the KL on Twitter, they're all doing the white Monster. I don't know.
It's like a trend.
It's really good for like a time.
Like, alright, yeah. I mean, like I said earlier. Yeah. Yeah, the game.
I'd fuck it, but.
I mean, like you said, though, like, if you're gonna eat shit, like, at least make it taste real good. Like, it's an energy drink at the end of the day. Like, it's not gonna be healthy. Like.
Exactly, man. That's what it's about.
I'm glad I got 10 gamer subs, but I would be drinking monsters every day. I like taking my gamer subs ice.
Yeah, what flavor Gamer Subs you got?
I have lemonade, I have green apple, and another form of lime.
Ooh, what's your go-to? Lemonade for sure. Yeah, fucking love it.